If you're a data scientist who's new to the space, you're probably thinking about creating a project that can help you build your confidence and also be a good addition to your resume. So, here's a couple of tips that I've picked up that might be helpful when you're trying to craft your first project and expand your skill set. The first thing is to pick a problem statement that really excites you. Here are some common examples that I've found many data scientists love to consider for their first project. One of them might be figuring out how to build an AI model that can detect the freshness of vegetables, so grocery store workers know when to dispose of old stock and get in the new stock. Another example is self driving vehicles and how they can actually detect pedestrians that are walking in front of the car. Finally, here's a third example that's a little bit more computer vision or image based: a dermatology AI assistant that can actually detect skin cancer symptoms from images. Each of these examples have a unique idea behind them and can be pretty exciting to explore further. Now, if you're a domain expert who has a background in a certain discipline like neurobiology or sustainability, you may also know some pain points from those disciplines that you can actually bring into your problem statement for your project. For example, maybe you know, working in the healthcare field, that a lot of the data sets that you work with are biased towards one gender over another. That's a problem that you could try to solve one step at a time with your project. That's kind of the first step. So let's take a look at the second. As part of the second step, you're really working on gathering clean, quality data. And especially if it's your first or second project, I'd highly recommend trying to gather clean or semi clean data so that you can hit the ground running and not have to worry about additional dependencies and processing right at the get go. You can go ahead and gather this data from sources like Google Dataset Search or data.gov, depending on where you are located. The third step that you can start to pursue is looking at how you can apply statistical techniques, data analysis, and possibly machine learning. And this is where you get to the exciting part of being able to compare and contrast different techniques. You could, for example, use a machine learning model that's topping the leaderboard, or you could actually opt for a newer, interesting technique that might add to your skill set. A great example that I've seen with folks that I've been talking to who are creating projects is, what if I compared an object detection model with another kind of model like a vision transformer model for my problem statement? It's a really exciting way of thinking about and exploring new techniques and also comparing and contrasting the state of the art. Finally, I'd recommend thinking about how you're going to distribute your project and how folks in the real world are going to use it with those challenging implications. For example, is your project reproducible to someone who has another laptop or a setup just like you? And could you wrap it up in an interface with maybe some buttons and some interactivity so others can use it the way you intended? These are all optional afterthoughts, but can up level the confidence and also the overall skill that your project is demonstrating, which can be really useful when you're trying to find and create this project and add it to your resume. So that's a couple of tips that I've thought about and encountered that are really helpful when creating data science projects, and I hope it helps you too. Thanks.